The July 2017 meeting of the Lafayette Common Council. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to our nation's flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Will the clerk please conduct a roll call?
Heidi, Clinker.
Here.
Reynolds, Campbell.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Allersmeyer.
Here.
Williamson.
Here.
Downing. Nargi.
Here.
Quorum present.
Okay, our first order of business is we need to have a public hearing, so we need to convene the council meeting. Do I have a motion so?
I move that we recess for the purpose of a public hearing.
And
Second.
Okay. And so now we need to look at Resolution 2017-12.
I'll go ahead and read it. A resolution declaring the designation of certain real estate as an economic revitalization area and approving their application for property tax abatement, Castle Coat LLC Real Estate.
Okay, is there anybody from the public who'd like to speak to this resolution? Seeing none. Now we need a motion to reconvene.
I move we reconvene.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Okay, next order of business is the approval of the minutes. You've all received that. Are there any corrections for that? Okay, do I have a motion to accept those minutes?
Madam President, I move that we approve the minutes as communicated.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Same sign. Okay, next, presentation and disposal of claims.
There are none.
Presentation of petitions and communications.
There are none.
Reports of the city offices on file in the city's clerk.
Water
And its
pollution, sorry.
City clerk's office.
Water Pollution Control Department, monthly May. Fleet Maintenance, monthly May. Police Department, May. Waterworks Department, monthly May. And Economic Development Department, 2016 Annual Report.
And all these reports are on file at the clerk's office and can be viewed during regular business hours. Okay, no ordinances for second reading, ordinances for first reading. Ordinance 2017-25.
An ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of Tippecanoe County, Indiana to rezone certain real estate from NBU R2U I2 to CB, several blocks immediately south of the downtown Lafayette, City of Lafayette petitioner.
Mr. Brown?
Madam President, I move that we hear and approve ordinance 2017-25 for first reading.
Second.
Okay. Okay.
Good evening, Dennis Carson, Economic Development Director. Before you have a petition for a rezoning of an area that directly south of downtown, the 4th Street corridor, and it also extends over west, close to the railroad tracks towards the Wabash River. As we all know, there's been a lot of significant changes in the downtown over the past 25 years. Lots of new investment is happening with the MARC project, other things like the redevelopment of the Journal and Courier building, other things that are happening downtown. Many more people are wanting to live downtown, work downtown and such. So we're being proactive here and looking at some of our areas that we can enhance and add to our downtown area. We recently rezoned the 3rd and 4th Street corridor to the north in the Centennial neighborhood to Central Business District, and also did a forum-based code overlay there. So now we're looking at the South 4th Street corridor, and we're seeing a real interest in that area, and particularly an investment with Gold Sale Development, having bought a building there, to be making a renovation there, and also making some brownstone housing in that area too. So again, it's a real opportunity that we have for redevelopment, make a new gateway into the downtown. So we are requesting this area to be zoned central business, to be in keeping with the rest of downtown.
Mr. Carson, why do we have that little extensions on 4th Street? I guess I'm interested in straight lines. I can understand the South Street, what they're wanting to do there with that particular
I think you might be
building.
looking at another map that's for a later resolution that we have tonight.
Oh, good, good. Okay.
I can answer it at that time.
Okay.
Got too many maps.
Any other questions from council? Any questions from anyone in the audience would like to ask questions or speak to this?
Yeah, I'll just make the comment too that it passed Area Plan Commission unanimously with 16-0 vote.
Right, right. Okay, any other questions concerning this ordinance? Okay, will the clerk conduct a roll call vote for ordinance 2017-25?
Clinker?
Aye.
Campbell?
Aye.
Brown?
Aye.
Allersmeyer?
Aye.
Williamson?
Aye.
Ordinance passes 5-0.
Okay. Next is Resolution 2017-14.
A resolution approving a deduction for tax abatement in economic revitalization area, Lifesong Brands, DBA Copper Moon Coffee LLC, personal property tax abatement.
Okay, Mrs. Williamson
I move for passage of resolution number 2017-14.
and Mr. Clinker.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Mayor.
Madam President, ladies and gentlemen of the council, we have a couple resolutions before you tonight that are involving Lifesong Properties doing business as Copper Moon Coffees. And so I'll give you just a little bit of overview of that, and then you can ask me any particular questions, but it'll pertain to each of those resolutions. As you know, Copper Moon is headquartered here in Lafayette. It's a locally owned business. For many years, it was actually in Indianapolis, and they was bought here locally and moved their headquarters to Lafayette. So we're certainly glad that that was able to happen. It's growing. Its brands are now sold throughout the United States in different stores and different shopping centers. And as you probably saw out on 26, now they actually opened their first standalone coffee shop out there right before you get to Meyer. So they are at a place where they're looking to expand their business, both in machinery and real estate. They plan to hire 5 additional people. They're going to make an investment in their equipment of $1.2 million and their real estate of about $1.7 million, adding about 30,000 square feet of that. They do pay very well. The average wage out there is $24.04 plus benefits. The production workers make $19.23 an hour, and the professional people make $43.27 an hour. So these are good-paying jobs. It's locally owned. We think that's neat, and it's headquartered here, and we want to help them continue to grow. I did ask Mike Jones to pull a few statistics for me, and I wanted to share with you this evening. I want to thank this council in the past for being supportive of our business community. You know, we work very hard to create a good economic environment here where people are willing to make investments and continue to grow. We did that even during the difficult periods of the economic slowdown that allowed our businesses to remain competitive in a global economy, and we're able to grow as the economy began to prove, and we're able to stay stable. We certainly weathered that storm better than most, but because of the work of the council in creating that business environment, our AV continues to grow. And to just give you some example, from 2016 to 2017, our AV grew almost $80 million. And from 2015 to 2016, it grew $53 million. And from 2014 to 2015, it grew $93 million. So over the last 3 years, we've grown $226 million, and our current AV now is $3,174,141,686. So our businesses continue to grow. We continue to help them by using these tools to be competitive in a global economy, and it's paying off in the growth of our AV, which is very beneficial to our overall financial well-being. So I would appreciate your support on these 2 resolutions, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, are there any questions from the council about the first resolution? Any questions from anybody in the audience?
They don't have to have questions, they can speak to.
They can speak?
Yeah,
Yes.
make sure it's
Questions
clear.
or speak to this resolution? Okay, seeing none, will the clerk conduct a roll call vote on Resolution 2017-14?
Clinker?
Aye.
Campbell?
Aye.
Brown?
Aye.
Allersmeyer?
Aye.
Williamson?
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Okay, Resolution 2017-15.
A resolution approving a deduction for a tax abatement in an economic revitalization area, real estate, Lifesong Properties LLC.
Mr. Campbell.
I move for passage of Resolution 2017-16 on first and final reading.
15.
15.
And Mr. Brown?
Second.
Okay.
Well, I think my presentation on the first one
We've
for
already
this
talked about
resolution,
that. These two go together.
2017-15, and we certainly would appreciate your support.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the council or the audience? Will the clerk conduct a roll call vote on ordinance resolution 2017-15?
Clinker.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Next is resolution 2017-16. Mrs. Halsmeyer.
Madam President, I move that we hear and consider Resolution 2017-16.
Second.
Second, okay.
Let me read it real quick here. A resolution confirming the designation of certain real estate as an economic revitalization area and approval of application by For Property Tax Abatement Castle Coach LLC Real Estate.
Dennis Carson, Economic Development Director. I'm up here to answer any questions you might have, and that the petitioner is here as well, too.
Propose that? You want it proposed?
We already did.
We did.
Before I read it.
All right, got
Before I
it.
read it,
Good.
we did
All
that in
right.
order, okay?
Go, Dennis. I want to slow you down a little.
All right. So any questions for me, or?
Any questions about 2017-16?
And this is the confirming resolution from the one they
Yes.
passed last
That
month.
we had last month, right, and for the public hearing.
Yes.
Any questions or comments from the audience? Okay, will the clerk conduct a roll call vote on resolution 2017-16?
Clinker.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Okay, next resolution, 2017-17.
A resolution amending the Lafayette Riverfront Development District.
Okay, Mr. Clinker.
I move we hear Resolution 2017-16 on first.
Second.
17.
17, on here, yeah,
17, okay.
17.
This side of the table
Sorry.
is confused.
17, I didn't get the other one
Hard for
flipped.
the
I should
numbers, they're
have,
in
should have
order, right.
stuck to my script instead of my.
Okay, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, ma'am. Madam President, ladies and gentlemen of the council, thank you for your consideration tonight of this ordinance, and Dennis and I can double team on this if we need to. I'll reiterate a little bit what Dennis said earlier in the evening today. As you know, we've worked very hard in this community to work on downtown development, and it's been a long process over many years, and a lot of people doing a lot of different things, going all the way back to railroad relocation and getting rid of the railroad tracks and moving the depot and all the pieces that needed to come together to help downtown continue to grow and thrive. And we're really in a renaissance period right now with a lot of downtown growth. We have a lot of interest from local developers and out-of-town developers, and not only just for what we would consider the original core of downtown, but really extending out into those near downtown neighborhoods, which is extremely important to help keep those energized and revitalized. And as you probably saw the success, I hope all of you got the email, the Centennial Townhomes. That was a tremendous project that we did, and the last one is sold. So as we look at Centennial neighborhood, Romick, Ellsworth, and the surrounding neighborhoods, we look at how can downtown incorporate what we're doing into that and keep us all strong and continue to grow. Having a thriving downtown is no easy task. There's a lot of competition for the same dollar. There's a lot of considerations to get people to come downtown. You have to have it inviting and a unique experience, and we have a lot of mom and pop shops and a lot of mom and pop restaurants downtown that provide some very unique entertainment and dining opportunities. And now we're working to how do we create different living options. As Dennis said, we have the Mark building going up. In conjunction with that, we have the $3 million first phase of our Riverfront Promenade, which will be attached to the back of the Mark, which is primarily being paid for through a very generous grant through North Central Health Services of about $2.4 million. We recently completed Streetscape. And then there's a lot of private investment downtown. You've seen some of the other buildings go up and some that we'll be seeing going up next year. So to continue that energy, obviously we need different types of dining options, entertainment options, and this tool of expanding the Riverfront Development District, along with the rezoning that you did to certain areas to central business, we feel is an important part of that overall plan, just as Dennis indicated when we worked on Centennial Neighborhood, did the rezoning down there, put in form-based code, did some different things. We look at these different areas and we see what's needed to help us continue to grow and have that development that we want. And so we think opening up this area to be have the opportunity for one of those licenses will continue to help us grow our downtown. And as we continue to grow as a community, we're going to have to continue to expand those options for people. And a lot of people like a lot of different things, and we got to make sure that we meet those needs so we continue to grow as a community and we continue to grow economically. So with that, I would be happy to entertain any questions.
I go back, I guess I can use that map.
Yeah, right.
You can use the map.
The west side of 4th Street, 4th and Romig, I haven't seen any development there of any sort. On the other side, I think a gentleman's putting looks like a restaurant, or there's 2 new buildings there, or 1 new building, but I haven't seen anything on the west side of 4th Street at Romig.
There is a white 2-story building. I think you probably can help me on that. Was it Beeman's?
Civil War type thing.
Beeman's Pharmacy, maybe in the old days, right there. And we do have a developer that's working on that, and I will let Dennis Carson explain that project to you at this time. Then I'll come back up to answer any other questions.
Yes, we wanted to include that area because we have a person that has purchased that building and is going to be rehabbing that, and they want to do first floor commercial and then upper story housing on that. So they're looking at probably targeting a restaurant for that as well. So we thought it would be good to
That's
include
the old
this.
drugstore, right? That's there.
It's that white.
Clinks or something.
Yeah, yes, it is.
2-story building
Right.
that sits on that corner.
Okay.
They plan to do an historic renovation on the outside of
The other
it.
side is the tavern is presently there. It used to be a grocery store.
Spot.
Yeah, and then Buckles is just
Yep.
north of that,
Yeah.
right there in that corner, right?
Okay.
Any other questions?
Other questions?
Any other
Okay.
questions? Any questions?
One.
Okay.
We are, I guess we're increasing the population for folks downtown. Do you think we'll ever get to the point where we can actually support a grocery store down there?
I think we're getting close.
Not everybody wants to
Yeah.
eat at a restaurant all the time.
Right, right. Yeah, I think we're getting close. So I've talked to a few grocery chains, and there's a lot of different smaller formats out there now for urban areas. So I think we're getting close to it.
Well, let me help you out here, because upscale is not necessary. Just a grocery store, I think, would help a lot, because a lot of folks have to go as far away as Payless over by my house to get groceries.
Right.
There's a market there, and somebody needs to step in.
Yeah, and we're losing Marsh on Teal, so right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about that store in Indianapolis? Let's get them up here. What's the name of it?
Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's.
Been talking about that for 20 years, yeah.
Costco.
Trying for 20 years, right?
We've tried.
Yeah, everybody has tried, let me tell you.
We've tried.
Yes.
What do we got bad breath? What? We got plenty of money.
In all
Yeah,
honesty,
yeah.
what was explained to me, now don't quote me on this, don't fact check me or. Way I remember this being described was, when people go down there to shop, they grab your zip code, right? And so they know that there's 30-some% people travel from here to their stores in Indianapolis. There's a significant number. I'm not sure what the number was. So if you build a store here, that store loses all the
Cannibalize.
business that was coming down. This store has to be able to support itself, and they just don't feel that this area can do that yet. But I think Dennis is right. I don't know that it'll be a Trader Joe's, but with the Journal and Courier building being redeveloped into housing, the Mark building going up, the other things that Gold Sale is doing, the project up on 9th and South that's going up right now, some other things that Dennis and I have talked to some local people, some out-of-town people about that I think we'll see start next year. I do think we are getting close enough to the density downtown within the geographic area to support some size and some style of grocery store. I mean, exactly what that looks like, I don't know for sure, but I do honestly think we are finally getting close to having enough people living in that geographic area to support one, where somebody will take a chance on us.
Any other questions or comments from council?
I would say we still need the restaurants and bars downtown to support the 30,000 extra people that are going to come to town when Purdue starts winning football games now with our new coach. So,
You really think there'll be 30,000 extra there?
oh, that's the plan, I hope.
Really think
I
they'll
bet that's their
start
plan.
They'd like to have There's a gentleman back there that owns a feed store downtown. Can you tell me why you're here?
I want to see what this is all about.
Oh,
I was considering changing the zoning on my place if I could to this particular zoning, and it looks like you guys did it for me, so.
okay.
Good.
He's a smart guy. I had him in 5th grade.
Is this,
Smart kid.
An RG students, he's all right.
does this fit in with your plans?
That's what he said. We made him happy. He wanted it zoned
Yeah.
CB.
Oh, good, okay, good.
I tried to get a veterinarian into the building next to me years ago, and they wouldn't let me, because
Really?
it wasn't zoned correctly. When I was downtown the other day, they said that this zoning would allow it, so that would go well with my business, and I don't think it's gonna hurt anything downtown.
Good, good.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, any other questions, comments from the audience, from the council? Okay, let's have a roll call vote on Resolution 2017-17.
Clinker?
Aye.
Campbell?
Aye.
Brown?
Aye.
Allersmeyer?
Aye.
Williamson?
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Okay, reports of standing committees. Reports of any special committees. Reports by the mayor.
I don't have one, but I'm going to put him on the spot. I'd like Brad Talley to come up and tell you a little bit about what he announced today for the new wastewater, our new name. So Brad?
Come
put you
on
the
down.
spot.
He heard
You know
you.
how much he loves to
Yes,
talk.
he does.
Hey, Brad.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. For the past year, my department's been looking at rebranding, kind of reflect what we do. We're so much more than just wastewater. And the industry trends are for utilities to get away from the pollution connotation in wastewater and some of the negative words that we use. So for the last year, we've been really looking to see, you know, what is it that we do and what other aspects of work do we do around the city. And so, you know, with the Jeff's High School Storm Park and some of the resource recovery that we do at the wastewater facility, recovering methane, providing fertilizer for some of the farm fields around, the bioswale maintenance and different sustainable practices that we're involved in. Through an internal process with employee input, we came up with the new name of Renew, Lafayette Renew. So we feel that better reflects, you know, exactly what we do and how we go about our businesses. One of the things that we're looking to do is really kind of engage in the community a little bit more. You know, we're hopeful to have a solar field going here before too long, maybe have some partnerships with local industries, maybe reuse some of our water, one of the things that we like to say is give new life to used water. So, you know, it's something that we're really proud of. It came from within the department, and we're very, very happy that we made it through today and through tonight, apparently. So,
Great.
yep.
Is that an acronym, or is that just the whole name?
It's just the whole name, Lafayette
Thank you.
Renew.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Okay, miscellaneous and new business. We need to approve the appointment of Dave Knott to the Police Merit Commission. Do I have a motion, Mr.
So
Campbell?
moved.
You have a second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, any reports from the council people? Okay, public comment. Now is the time for anybody who can come up and have 3 minutes for public comment. If you do so, please be respectful and courteous of all people. Anybody would like to comment from the audience? No? Mr. Campbell?
I move we adjourn.
Mr. Clayton?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody?